Hello everyone, I'm Palpatine001, aka Descent, and we are back with City Skylines 2 and Content Overload 2.0. Hey, 2.0? What was 1.0? Well, in 1.0 the French and German urban packs came out. Actually, and also the UK. I mistakenly said in that video, 1.0, that the Japanese stuff will come out early next year. Nope, came out the following couple of weeks later. And so in the new content, urban content, we have the Japanese stuff came out, along with Detailers Patch 2.0, which gives us more detailing options. Pocket parks and other things. Sorry, that is the wrong one. So pocket parks. It also gave us cul-de-sacs, or as we like to call them in SimCity 4, something else, which I'm not going to exactly repeat in here. Cul-de-sacs, more roundabouts, because hey, we all love the roundabouts, and this one ending up being my favourite. And two other content packs also came out as well. The Urban Pack and the Modern Architecture Pack. So if sorry, the Urban Promenades, I should say. So a lot to work with, a lot to play with, and all stuff to keep you busy. And one other thing with the detail roads is you can now do parking like this on roads. Something that wasn't in CSO, you could do it with a mod, but a lot of detailing was needed. Does it break my on-street parking policy? Partially, but I wanted to experiment to see what this would look like in an urban setting. Don't worry, my main streets often still get their parking removed, or sometimes they don't. I don't always do it. They can get converted into pedestrian ways, which we've also got a new one in a new alleyway. We'll shoot back up to it in a second. And as I said, we also have got more off-street parking options available, including this big boy and its smaller counterpart here. So if we do follow, this is a little Japanese area I was trying when the Japanese stuff came out. So if we do follow the Japanese model of no on-street parking, don't worry, off-street parking is still available, to the point even some of the Japanese buildings, because in Tokyo you're not allowed to own a car unless you can prove you can park it off-street. As I said, Japan still allows parking in cars in that. It just has to be off-street in that, and as you can see, they still provide it as just off-street, so you're not reliant as Western models to park on. So if I was to drop down into this little Japanese area I was experimenting with, whoop, we're in the bus area, so yeah. This is, just as a quick side note, this is, I believe, the Urban Promenades, which is mixed use. So this is what it looks like. This is the new bus depot, local bus depot, which is a very big building. So if I was to drop behind it, it's the urban police, small taxi depot. So it's showing some of the assets off. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, so we'll do a mini tour and then I'll cover the state of the game. Yeah, so that's the new local bus station. This is the Urban Promenades. You go out drop out the back. As I said, it allows for mixed use. I think I'm backing onto a stadium. But it's better to allow for these extra wide footpaths and all these dining options you don't usually get with mixed use, because they don't have any setbacks. I'll cover that in a minute too, because I've got a few more being built. So yes, if we were to go into the Japanese area, although I'll drop down to You'll see the other packs and play as we go through the build through and do the drive through with the buses and that. So we've got our off-street parking in that. So there's no parking on street. There's your Japanese post office. More off-street parking provided. But yeah, as I said, if you take a look, that's, by the way, mixed use on the right. They do allow you to provide parking. And we've even got bike racks to go, even though the game does not allow for cycling. That is one of my wishes, colossal order for next year. And when I was engaging them on Blue Sky, it is something they're going to seriously look at. Because I absolutely love the bikes in CS1, and with all the bike stuff you can do with the bike lanes, the bike boulevards, and with real time in that, I could get up to half the city biking at any given time. And because transfers were allowed in the latter stages of the game, you could easily get public transport. In most cases it was rail, bike again, the ultimate transport combo. So I'm looking forward to the days I can do this here again, because these cities will really take off. This is part of the details pack, so this is one of the pocket parks, and this is some of the Japanese low density stuff. And as I said, there's more. So the good thing about the UK higher density, medium density stuff, and then the Japanese low density stuff is they fit in very small spaces because they have very small houses. So it's it works when you've got these big buildings here. So you're going to say mixed use on the right, medium Japanese density on the left. As we do a quick zip round, more medium density, backing onto a square, which is what, again, one of the new assets under modern architecture. So your pedestrian roads come into a lot more use. Japanese low density business, which is even lower density than North American and the EU. So again, great for little spots. I'm on the small pedestrian road, by the way. Another pocket park, I believe. Low density, swimming pool, low density, medium density, back out on the road. It's just going to shoot me off into the middle of nowhere. Yep. So if we were to flip over, that is the current state of the city. And so, where are we at state of gameplay and state of game? So all our figures are very good at the moment. Well, demand is fine, population growth is fine, and the taxes are fine. If we were to go to taxation, we've just done a little bit of a tweak. We don't need to alter services as much. And economic-wise oil I will set up later. It's always in deficit. And then lodging, we've got an absent because we've got no tourists. I think they've debunked the tourist one again. It's like, anyway, the state of the game, its state of gameplay is that I am going for a very mixed, very organic, very heterogeneous, which is different city. So it's not uniform. Will we establish quarters in little towns? Yes, but it's not going to be like master plan. It's going to be pretty organic. Like over here in Rosewood, things you can see most of it is the UK stuff. And with the odd Japanese building making its way in there because I could. We have the French stuff going in. We have the German. That's all French. We have some German going in as well. Oh, that's very tightly packed in. And as I said, we've got Japanese going in as well. So it is all... we will be doing EU and no North American though in this. And I forgot to mention this game is based on the Wanaka map. Wanaka being in the South Island of New Zealand. So, yeah, there's lots of ways you can establish this up. Because of course, all the industry. And that. So yeah, we will do quarters in that. We will do things like Little Tokyos, Little Britons, and that. But for the most part, it is mix and match. Do I have a particular one I like the most? Well, of course, I do like the Japanese stuff. But I think at the moment, because of the UK, because of the variety you get in the UK, and we have broken the high density challenge because we will do high density challenge, high density stuff now. Yeah, it's like all the stars, but yeah, it's leaning on the UK one for the moment. But we are going to do a bit more Japanese shortly. The urban promenades one is bottom. It's a rooftop terrace. Yeah, so that's really for your high end, your promenades. And as I said, we have got one Japanese mixed terrace. We have got one establishing itself in here as it makes its way down. And we do have it also zoned up here to, of course, we've got the EU assets going. To also get going as well. It's going to take a bit of time, but we're going to get there. And of course, we've got all the usual shenanigans with public transport and so on. So, yeah, the game's in a good place. As I said, we're just missing bikes. Otherwise, we're pretty much, getting there, ready to go. And as you can see, I'm just about to add UK terraced housing in, and also add up some I don't think, is that going to make it work? Yeah, it does actually. So one there, and I don't think I'm yep, one there. Also, one thing, I'll just let that rip for the moment. One thing we have to get used to is, especially like with the UK and Japanese stuff, it can get quite small quite quickly, so you start picking up a lot of infill that you need to do. So we're still working out optimum lot sizes, but they do make for good interior parks if you wish to, or good quick fire urban forests, which would be another good thing. I'm just going to put the game back on pause because I actually have to do a bit of public transport work. So that's where we are with state of gameplay, my style of gameplay, and of course the of all the content packs that come out. Now, just to prove one more kick, and this time I read the material properly, 27th of January, so this is the 28th of May of January next year, the Eastern European pack comes out. So we've got more stuff coming out to keep the urbanist and me going. But can we please get bikes and cycle lanes out, because they are sorely needed. Please, 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 because that will just form the ultimate way of getting stuff moving around. So that is where we are at. I'm Palpatine001, and that concludes part 1. If you want me to do some very quick building, stay tuned. Otherwise, yeah, this concludes part 1 in the state of game, state of how I do my game building, and also content overload 2.20.